What's good, YouTube? Minasteel here, and welcome to the first of 5 expert solo battle guides for the Mega Shine expansion. In this video, we'll be taking down Mega Charizard X specifically with a deck made up of only grass type Pokemon. Before we begin, I'd like to thank y'all for the patience and sticking with me despite my videos being a bit more sporadic, less consistent than I like them to be. And if you're new here, if you end up finding this video helpful, please consider subscribing. Now back to the task at hand. Let's begin with the deck that we're going against. As you can see here, in the case of Charizard X, the deck has several things that work to our advantage, while other things that are a bit too linear for us to like really work around or avoid. Things to note is that if they are going second, they have no way of attacking us in their first turn, as every Pokemon in their deck requires at least 2 energy to attack, starting with the Charmander. However, if they're going first, they're just one Charmeleon away from being able to attack with basically anything. So when building to counter this, it is important to keep in mind the ranges. Due to weakness, Charmeleon is swinging for 60, Entei is swinging for 80, and Tauros does 100. And then ultimately their big boss is Charizard X, swinging for 120, and then when it's weak enough, it swings for a total of 200. As for the trainer cards, Lily's a card that makes our strategy a little awkward, but cards like Cyrus and Rare Candy actually benefit us, as we much rather them evolve straight from Charmander to Charizard than ramp anything on their board with Charmeleon. And Cyrus, we're spoiler, we're playing a Mega, so we never really have anything in the bench for them to bring out. We're going straight head on with what we have in the active. However, when it comes to Flame Patch and X Speed, those are cards that are really annoying because at any moment, anything on their bench can become the threat. Keeping in mind everything this deck does, I decided to take it down with Mega Venusaur EX. The list is heavily inspired by the competitive lists that were being used during the Master Ball last season. Like, I faced it a few times in top 1000, but with a few twists, taking into account that we are just focused on beating just this one Charizard deck. For starters, we're playing 2 Bulbasaurs instead of like the 1, and we're also playing the 70 HP one instead of the 60. The reason for the second copy is just to give us the option to sacrifice the lead one if they start too aggressive, or we just don't have enough HP like currently. And the 70 HP allows us to tank Charmeleon attacks, and with Leaf Cape, we're even able to tank an Entei. The rest of the deck is pretty straightforward, as we try to turbo out Mega Venusaur. With just a little luck, we take down Charizard quite easily. Like, just one time they put them to sleep and they don't heal with Lily and they just don't wake up one time, the game is essentially over. You get 2 chances at putting it to sleep most of the time. Sometimes with the Lily, it might require a second. Potential additions that in testing could have saved me from some tough spots are Cyrus instead of Sabrina, or alongside Sabrina, because Cyrus makes it so once we swing to Charizard, they can't just back out and like hide behind a line of other bench Pokemon the way they can against Sabrina. And the other is a second copy of Erica instead of a second copy of Lily. Although yes, Lily's better because it heals Venusaur for 60 rather than 50. One thing that Erica allows us to do is for the first line, the Bulbasaur or the Ivysaur, to get to the next step. Sometimes, yes, you could tank the 60 or the 80 from Charmeleon or Entei's respectively, but once you evolve into the Ivysaur, you don't have enough HP to survive. Like, you can survive with the Bulbasaur, but then you still need a little bit more HP to survive. Having that second Erica makes it more likely that you have healing, whether it's just from Ice Pop or just Erica Ice Pop. Like, while Lily only works on the Venusaur, right? So I hopefully that made sense. I get a little bit wordy and I apologize for that. But with that, I wish y'all the best of luck with your attempts, and I truly hope Charizard stays sleeping against y'all. Once again, if this helps you, please consider subscribing. I will be rolling out the rest of the guides as I manage to find the time to record them. So thank you for watching, and above all else, stay pro. Alright, going first, which, if we draw well, is probably ideal, honestly, because yeah, they could tag us for at most nothing, I think it is. Yeah, because they're playing the wrong Charmander. Well, it is the wrong one, but in terms of solo battles, it's just the newest one, so that's what they'll use, obviously. We already have the perfect line here. We'll go research, drop Cape. One thing, I probably already explained it, but the reason we're playing Cape over Heavy Helmet is in the cases that we're going, whether we're going first or second, they have a chance to essentially swing with Entei, especially if they're going second. We just like charge pass with a Charmeleon. Entei's able to swing. Tauros is able to swing. Tauros we can't really defend against. Like, if they figured out, if they found the Tauros in the lead with Charmander back, better luck. Just start a new game basically. But Heavy Helmet does not protect Bulbasaur, and this 100 HP puts you over a bunch of thresholds. Everything about our Bulbasaur is a threshold, right? We're playing a 70 HP one, so that Charmeleon swings for 60. We're playing Cape so that if we haven't evolved yet and they go into Entei, they're only swinging for 80, so we're still alive. Right now, in this case, we went first, so it doesn't really matter. But if we were going first or second, it makes a huge difference. Whether we use Quick Growth or not, Quick Growth is always the best, technically, right away, because you obviously thin the deck out. Well, we're not gonna do much more because we already have the Venusaur in hand. So if they go rare candy, it could be tough because they could go rare candy Charmeleon and swing. Oof, okay, yeah, that spoke. I was about to say spoke too soon, but not spoke soon enough, really. You see, had they done it the other way around, we were in big trouble. But here we could maybe heal out of it. I guess for 60, we do gotta take a Charmeleon. They would need Flame Patch, granted. So they played in multiples, right? Go here. They'd be swinging for 120, so technically we don't have to use Ice Pop. Let's put down this Bulbasaur here. Whether we use it or not doesn't really matter, but there goes Charmeleon. If we get lucky, they won't do Flame Patch. Okay, they put Tauros up front. I was about to say, who knows what that means, but that just means so that has to mean they have Flame Patch, surely. Yeah. Okay. Issue number, the clear issue is that we lose if we get knocked out here, but see that they are swinging for 120. So if we wanted to just survive, we could. However, it's definitely in our best interest to do more than just survive here. So you see right here in this situation, they're going to swing for 120, but unfortunately, we're just gonna have to tank it, right, and hope that they don't wake up. I guess that's our only play, really. The reason for a second Ivy storyline is 100% just so if they cut it off, or like if you're at risk of getting knocked out early, you let the first one go while you build up the back. But it's just gonna come down to whether they wake up or not, unfortunately. And don't wake up. Okay, so ways they could technically stay up is Lily. Lily will definitely give them enough HP to keep fighting. Nothing else but. Okay, so you might think to yourself, oh, if you didn't wake up, you just lose. Yeah, that's that is true. However, we also just won, right? Like it's a coin flip slash. There's situations where it's different. There, they kind of were able to swing first. There will be times where you're able to swing first, and in which case, even if they do wake up, you still survive that one hit, and then it might come down to a wake up after that. Lily's the one that makes it awkward. Realistically, as you saw, it just came down to one flip. As always, we do multiple examples. Hopefully, it's a smoother game, more to what they're usually playing, like some Entei stuff. So let's jump right into example number 2. All right, for example number 2, now we are going second. So hopefully, okay, yeah, perfect. I was like, hopefully I get to show you the importance of Leaf Cape. Okay, and okay, this is like, if we lose, right? But it's a perfect example that I want to show y'all, which is where, like, sort of not best case scenario, like they're playing to their best case scenario. Like, this is what, as a Charizard player, you want to do. You want to start Entei, you want to have Charmander on the bench, you want to have access to Charmeleon next your turn 2, and that's why we need Leaf Cape. If we had Heavy Helmet, we're not in a position where we could evolve just yet. I hope like you see the situation or why it matters, right? What will end up happening though, however, is if they do hit Charmeleon, we're gonna have to hope to find another Bulbasaur, to be honest. Let's just go end here. Let's see. So now they go Charmeleon, they're gonna swing for 80, and yeah. Bulbasaur with Heavy Helmet wouldn't have been able to survive. Are we still in a tough spot? Could we still lose the game? Yes, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. They got 6 cards in hand. It's not very likely, but it's possible to see the card we're looking for. Math-wise, we were at 90. They're gonna swing. It's just 30. We'd be at 50. That's not enough. We could see how much lucky Ice Pop gets us, and then we could commit to quick growth and stuff. So let's see. Erica would have been great at this point, or this moment. So maybe that's something you want to consider. Playing double Erica instead of Lily to heal the earlier versions. So, okay, so technically down to minus 60, so 130 minus 60, we're at 70. So I'm pretty sure the one ice pop was enough, if I'm not crazy. No, but they're hitting for 80. I'm tripping. We do play double ice pop, so doing that's still not the worst idea. So now there's two cards that save us: Bulbasaur to put on the bench, or ice pop to put us over the threshold of damage. And we get one of them at least. Okay, we got the Bulbasaur. So we go Bulbasaur. And you might think to yourself, aren't you in the same situation? No. Maybe. Depends how they do what they do with their energy, right? So we'll put energy here. Unfortunate that we weren't able to heal further. See, because they put their energy like this, we have a chance. So if they're swinging for 80, Ivysaur will be at 100 HP. There's the Venusaur already. Let's go quick growth here. Part of me wants the Sabrina even. Just so they're forced to... They can't retreat into the Mega Charizard. Yeah, let's go Sabrina here. Okay, send out Entei. Interesting. This always puts us in the disadvantage of not having Sabrina later for a quick win, but well, at least it still serves the purpose that I wanted. It's not gonna look pretty while we get there, but the point was so that they couldn't retreat into the Mega Charizard and Flame Patch it up. So for 80, we need all bit of HP that the Ivysaur had. Let's go Mega Venusaur. We have a couple of healing here, so it might be enough, might not. Let's go. Max is 240, right? Yes. Let's go Lily for full value here. In best case scenario, the Entei doesn't wake up. At the end of the day, it kind of always comes down to that gimmick. But it's one of those examples where I was trying to tell you where, let's say if he doesn't wake up here, we actually get to our first swing at either one of these. So yes, it's a deck gimmicky. You're gonna have to have luck with the coin flips. It is what it is, right? I guess. All right, the poison gets the job in there. You see, this is an example where we get to hit Charizard before it it's just that the chances, well, that they're guaranteed to have Lily here. Let's go research. I don't know. They don't have hand disruption. Realistically, next turn. Okay, yeah, actually, that matters. Beefcake matters. Should have just copycatted, really. Critical Bloom. If they wake up, it's awkward. If they don't wake up, it's basically guaranteed W. Even with the Lily, right? We just need one of these hits to be tails. And let's say even if they did wake up, right? And they swing for 200, okay, yeah, that's that example. They were gonna cook it. Actually, no, because they would have needed to Lily. So if they did wake up and hit us for 200, we would have been fine, like, right? Because we just knock them out with the next swing. But yeah, once they didn't wake up, they're just cooked, right? I don't know if that sentence makes sense, because I lost midway through. I lost what I was trying to say. So the only issue here is they will get to. We don't have like Sabrina, so maybe adding Cyrus could also make sense. Oh, actually, if they don't wake up, right? Okay, they did wake. Y'all saw that? Y'all saw that? It's kind of crazy. Okay, so this is the case where now we need Sleep to hit, because Flame Patch. It's still a Flame Patch, so they couldn't even go back to this one and swing for too much damage. Alright, no. Okay, there you go. This is the point I was trying to make. Where even if they swing for 200, this deck could out heal it As long as we're able to sleep them at some point in between, right? Because they're swinging, either one swinging for 200. The only issue being that we also just hit him for lethal as follow-up. And that doesn't include sleeping now, right? And they already used the Lily. There's no healing for them. Technically, he could have backed out to Entei, charged it up, swung for 80. But then they wouldn't have enough energy to charge up Charizards after the fact. So does it require some luck? Yes, but you consistently get yourself to the point where you require the luck. Could you change some things? For sure. You could find space for Cyrus. You can find space for a second Erica. There's actually a really big, not debate. Debate's not the word. What am I thinking of? It's to put 2 Ericas instead of 2 Lilies, because this is not your average opponent. Like, you're trying to make sure you get to Venusaur. Like, if you can't get to Venusaur, it doesn't matter how much you're heating the Venusaur. So for situations like the one we just did, where this game we had to sacrifice the Ivysaur, that's kind of avoidable. Obviously, you'd have to draw the Erica, but more likely to see the Erica if you're playing 2 instead of 1. And towards the end of like healing past the certain ranges, that 10 is negligible as long as you're able to like survive to that. Like, it's more important to get to the Venusaur than it is to survive once the Venusaur's there. Obviously, you lose the game if the Venusaur gets knocked out, but that's enough rambling for me. As you can see, yes, it's not likely. It's possible that a Tails, like if they woke up here and there, we would still need to replay it. But point is, it should take a few tries maximum to get it right. Just as soon as like 1 sleep hits, you're pretty much solid. Again, feel free to throw in some Cyruses so situations like the one we just ran into could be avoided. I do like Leaf Cape in this matchup specifically, like this 1v1 over the Heavy Helmet. Although if we were to play Venusaur competitively, you would play the Heavy Helmet. But with that, thank you all for watching. Please consider subscribing, and above all else, stay pro.